I never have any sympathy for these guys. You got one job, show up on weight, in shape. That's it.
It's part of the contract, isn't it? You've signed on the dotted line. You've got to go and get the job.
You're a professional fighter. It's not hard, is it? You have months. He's fainted.
He's blacked out, yeah.
Oh, man.
Man, so I swear, it's not that I'm trying to be a negative Nancy, but my god, with all the things that have been happening recently in the UFC, if I'd have known a little bit more beforehand, I would have just waited to make my Dana White video and would have compiled it into this one. Jesus Christ. So before getting into that, let's get into the recent UFC card that has just happened. The card itself was interesting. Starting off the main card, Gene Silva and Arnold Allen was an absolute banger, and the outcome of that fight truly cemented the idea that I can really see Gene as a true future champion. And sure, his last fight was a 2-round war against Diego Lopez, but people forget, man, how close that fight was until that elbow landed. What am I even saying? How good is Arnold Allen? After all those injuries and this long of a layoff, my boy can scrap! Natalia Silva versus Nama Nunez was a WMA fight, not much to say. And Waldo versus Derek Lewis was honestly more painful than anything. These two heavyweights just trudging around and circling for minutes. God bless the heavyweight division. The only fight with a finish on the main card. And I gotta say, I'm making that with quotations in my fingers in front of my microphone because what the hell was that? Lewis just fell on his ass and seemed like he almost just quit. Seemed like we might not see Derek Lewis at the White House because of the finish, which you know the UFC is pissed about seeing, as allegedly, the UFC might have tried more than just encourage Derek Lewis to win, if you catch my drift. And Derek Lewis just speaking a bit too much and just backtracking like we didn't have it on record. I'm mainly joking here. I'm just playing a character of a casual MMA fan. But we obviously know the UFC wanted to see Lewis win here. O'Malley versus Yadong wasn't the most exciting fight. No happy ending after beating Yadong, unfortunately. I'm an O'Malley fan, and it was great seeing him finally get a win since March 2024. Like, holy shit. I'm hearing people talk about how this fight was a robbery. Honestly, I don't know what other people were watching, because I clearly had a 2-1 O'Malley. I don't know what the hell Yadong was doing, because going to the third round, he did a whole lot of nothing. I'm aware that O'Malley has knockout power, but it's not like he's got shut off your lights kind of knockout power, especially against higher skilled fighters. And you know they are happy that Sean won. They pretty much needed this one. I don't think they're going to do the rematch with Peter Yan, as it's pretty certain to book the trilogy for Yan versus Merab, so it'll most likely be someone like Sanhagen or Zahabi. And the main event itself was great. A great fight that definitely had the kind of fight Paramount needed to end off the night. Not the highest level fight, but it was a scrap. But upon rewatching this fight, all I could think was, man, Ilia Topuria would murder these two. There is a reason they matched up Patty with Gaethje instead of Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, or Arman Sarukian. Dana really wanted Patty to win. It was a great fight, don't get me wrong, and a dream fight of mine, which also happened on my birthday. So, it was like a dream come true. I would be lying if I said this didn't feel like a big waste of time from the UFC when I know either of these guys would have just been launched into the stratosphere come Ilia's return from the courtroom. Overall, a decent card, and a nice ending for the first Paramount card. Okay, onto the goings-on leading into UFC 324. First of all, Kayla Harrison pulled out of her Amanda Nunes fight due to neck injury. Kayla seems like a genuinely great person, and it seems like the surgery went well, and I am really excited for this one-of-a-kind WMA fight. The next thing that happened that you know the UFC isn't happy about is Justin Gaethje complaining about fighter pay. It's not a great look when one of the most entertaining fighters in the UFC roster is complaining about fighter pay.
Oh, man, to have 14 bonuses and not equal up to $1 million, it's not right. It's not right. It should be a lot more than that, and I should have had opportunities to do smarter things with my money, but I don't, and I haven't. And to this day, everyone's, I hear Daniel Cormier saying that everybody's going to get paid more on this card. I'm not getting $1 more than I would have if this deal did not happen.
Dana did later announce that fighter bonuses would get increased, which is probably one of the few good PR things that did come up leading up into UFC 324. And I just would say that Justin Gaethje probably had something to do with that. You know CBS was not happy about hearing this kind of thing, and I'm glad the fighters are getting paid more. And I really think finish bonuses should have been a thing years ago.
Dana, I have kids, man. I have kids. I need to eat. We need some money, man. I need to fight. I'm back at the PI on fucking Monday. I want to fight next month, Dana. Let's go.
Another thing that isn't UFC, but is adjacent, Zuffa Boxing, which is being promoted by Dana White himself. Live and die by the fighter pay. Seeing this kind of thing in promotion that is supposed to save boxing, the whole Zuffa Boxing event felt like an amateur card with UFC pacing and Dana White at the press conference. And from what I've been hearing and what Dana's been saying, it didn't seem like they were happy with their first events.
The first one, you know, we know a lot more than we knew then. Am I absolutely thrilled with our first one? No.
Which kind of just confirms my theory that they may have launched the Zuffa boxing a bit more earlier than they actually intended. There are also some rumors going around about signings and potential fighters, but we'll honestly just have to wait and see. There's a lot about boxing that could be improved, but the MMA pay structure and control, as well as Dana trying to change the Ali Act, which was made to protect fighters from promoters, and Dana saying that he's doing this to protect fighters, and this is coming from a promoter, is sketchy, man. But what do I know? I'm just a filthy casual that likes combat sports. I'm all for fixing boxing and everything, because dear God, there are some problems, and I don't just want to see the downfall of Zuffa boxing when it hasn't even started, but where there's smoke, there's fire. Another big issue that happened out of nowhere was the cancellation of Michael Johnson versus Alex Hernandez. This was sketchy as hell, as hours before, gambling connoisseurs were calling out that there was odd betting scandals, most likely due to an injury, and the UFC, learning from the last scandal, decided to pull the fight this time. Another one for the headlines. There is a lot of speculation going around right now as to what this betting oddity actually was, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Side of a couple of decisions.
135.5 for Cameron.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
no,
shit.
bro!
Oh no!
Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
What happened?
He fainted.
Oh, that's not good.
Ooh boy. If you follow MMA in any capacity, you most definitely seen this video of Kevin Smotherman passing out at the weigh-ins. You already know the CBS executives were scrambling and blowing up Dana's phone. According to Kevin, who was immediately rushed to the hospital, he didn't even cut that much weight, but by the way he looked and what transpired, I think he might be lying. This fight was obviously cancelled, which now puts his card at 3 cancellations. Now, you think this would mean better pacing throughout the card or something, right? Usually when a fighter gets a finish, I celebrate the fact that it was awesome, but also the fact that I might be able to sleep 15 minutes earlier that night. Sounds a bit odd, I know, but to my European fans, y'all know what I'm talking about. But no, the fight ended at the same time as it would have if it had those fights and still showed the same amount of ads. It didn't even matter what subscription tier you got. It was still so many ads. I must have had my TV muted for like 2 hours at that point. The ads got in between the walkouts and the corners, like, what the hell? It was egregious and really killed the pacing. Because of the canceled fights, we got an hour more of ads than when we should have, which is disgusting. This is the first Paramount card, and there was a lot of outcry over this specific topic online, so I'm sure Paramount will at least listen to some of the feedback. But at the same time, according to Dana, they had twice the viewership they expected, so they also might not. How was this first Paramount card? And what do you guys think about all the scandals that happened throughout the week? Because if it wasn't for all this bad weather and my Wi-Fi being out for so many days, I could have mentioned a couple of more things, but I really just want to get a video out before UFC 325, even if it was a bit late. Anyways, like the video if you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you for the casuals in the next one. Peace!
No!
Oh, no.
no,
Oh, shit.
bro!
Oh no!
Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
What happened?
He fainted.
Cameron.